Ho 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 and welcome to Combat Corner. My name is Kobe
My name's Jackson,
and
today we've got a bit of a it's our final episode of the year.
it is.
So we're saying goodbye just for a little bit,
Bye
just for a
bye.
little while. Well,
what we're
not
gonna be
yet.
saying.
We've got a lot to get through today.
We do. It's a big packed out one.
It is. We've got some news once again. Some fight announcements that are upcoming. Obviously, we've got some boxing that's happening tomorrow that we'll touch over briefly. And another thing that we're going to do is we're going to break down our top 10 moments of the year and some moments that we want to see in the next year. Some things that we want to see from 2024. Some predictions.
And we often predict
some
things
fights that we think will come to fruition and we might see announced soon.
Correct.
And as per usual, we will be reviewing a beer.
Pretty cool beer.
So due
Thank you,
to
Zachary.
Zachary requesting the Sapporo Premium Beer.
Zach, you're a very pretty
Imported
guy.
5% alcohol, 650 ml. Take a seat, strap in, settle down.
We thank you.
because The Combat Corner it's about to get going.
It is, and we will catch you very shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Combat Corner.
Oh,
Jeez,
fuck.
damn, that had some zest to it.
Whoa, it like opened sideways for me.
Yeah,
Did you?
no,
Huh.
one was pretty
Check
straight.
out mine.
Yours is quite bent, yeah. Kobe's is bent and mine's pretty straight, right up the middle.
People don't eat standard drinks in this. Crazy.
It's
Crazy.
it's the full
Crazy.
the full thing. If you're pregnant, sitting at home, please do not consume this beverage. It's not good for you
No,
or your baby,
unborn.
your unborn child. Just reading that off the back of the can. I didn't actually know that personally, but that is good to know.
You don't want your kid getting drunk.
Sapporo
Mm.
Premium Beer.
Welcome to the show, guys. It is like we said in the intro, our final show of the year. So we are very, sorry to our fans who are going to be missing out for a couple of weeks, but
Terribly sorry.
we will be back. The schedule is this is the last show, but we should be back early new year. So watch out for that and any other content that we release. But-
Stay on the edge of your seat. You know,
Stay edging, guys.
don't even just keep edging until the new year. Don't even leave.
Don't leave your house.
Yeah, don't leave your house until we upload again.
But this is a party episode. We're having fun today.
This is a party episode.
We've got the standard structure. We do. We've got the news. We've got all this, all that. What's been
But-
going on?
I think today, Kobe, we might go a little bit long.
We might go a little bit longer. Might be a feature length episode. We'll have to see. You'll have to see. You'll have to keep watching.
Yeah, you'll have to find out.
You'll have to find out if it's long.
You have to wait and see how long it is.
You'll have to wait and see. And the only way you can do that is watching till the end and counting the seconds.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it is a good idea for us to bring that up right now, because if you do have something to do for the next couple of hours,
Cancel it.
Maybe you've got a couple of 100 kilometers to drive. Maybe you've got some washing to wash and dry. Maybe you've got to go and do a whole grocery shop. Maybe you've got to do I don't know. Maybe you've got to hide some sort of
Dead body.
dead person.
Yeah.
and
Maybe you're Bryden. You're trying to go to sleep.
Maybe you're
Shout out
Bryden trying to get to sleep for 2 hours and fighting off the demons. And
Wake up, Bryden.
Wake up, Bryden.
Wake up.
Because you're not going to be able to sleep for 2 hours this time.
No.
So yeah, I'm just letting you know you're going to be busy. You're going to be preoccupied. You can have a bit on your mind because
This
we've
is
got
a
some stuff
special
to say.
episode. And we've
It
got
is
a
a
lot that we
special
want to talk
episode.
about. Yeah, there's a lot been going on. And it's been a fucking insane year. It's been pretty awesome.
Fucking insane.
This has been like the as is usual with the UFC. Every single year seems to be better than the last. Last year,
Yeah.
2022 was amazing. We had some awesome moments. 2023 has been even bigger and even better.
feels like twice as big.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. It feels like 1 year on.
It
And that's
feels a
'cause it
lot.
is.
This year was a lot meatier.
Yeah, honestly, like 2022 was a crazy year, but 2023 has just, he topped it again. And we've got to say thankful to Dana because,
Thank you, Dana.
he's the man.
Praise be.
He's the man.
Praise
Thank you,
be to
Dan.
thee.
Praise be to the god of. He is essentially like, if in our industry, if there was a god, it is Dana. Like Dana is God.
I
And
feel like
Conor McGregor is Jesus.
in MMA,
And we're talking about Christmas.
the good luck charm is touching Dana's head.
Yeah, making him pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Touching his pink parts.
There has been a lot of chat out there lately from a secret admirer, it seems, of Dana's that wants to see him oiled up.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty good.
And I mean, if anyone's going to make an OnlyFans and get into something like that, I think Dana would
He'd make a
profit
fuckload of money.
hugely from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oiling himself up on camera. I'm not saying it would be something that I personally would. I'd probably have to, just because we'd talk about that kind of stuff. I think I would maybe just have to watch it just because it was happening and it's news. I don't think it would be something I'd seek out on purpose, but because if it was happening, and I would just then have to
I'd definitely watch it. I'd love to watch it. Don't fucking lie. You'd love to watch Dana getting
Okay,
oiled
maybe
up.
I'd love to watch Dana
Think
getting
Dana
oiled
getting
up.
oiled
Maybe
up.
I'm the guy who keeps commenting saying that he should get oiled up.
Maybe. Have you seen that video of Chael Sonnen when he's on a call with Dana White and he's like, "All right, I've got a joke for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what 6 foot tall, handsome, and disappears in an instant? Oh, he disconnected right at the punchline.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucking retard.
Went straight over his bald head.
I just said the R word.
Yeah, we're gonna
Apologies.
get demonetized.
Apologies. We're not even monetized. Oh, I wanted to say a quick shout out as well. We got 100 subscribers this week. So thank you to everyone who played their part there. I think Jackson promised you all a McFlurry
Yeah, I'll be delivering that
for Christmas.
right after my bankruptcy comes through.
Great. And in the spirit of Christmas, yeah, Dana is essentially God, and Conor McGregor is Jesus. He was the messenger that got everyone involved in the UFC, just like baby Jesus got everyone involved in the religion.
I like this analogy.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
It's quite good.
Who's Peter?
I don't fucking know who Peter is.
Peter was like the main hoe. He was the Big Daddy disciple.
He was probably Hunter Campbell.
Hunter Campbell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunter Campbell's
I
probably.
would have thought he'd be one of
Yeah.
McGregor's boys because McGregor was Jesus. So
Um.
Dylan Dennis, maybe.
Wait, was Peter one of Jesus's main people?
Yeah.
Right. He went to a Catholic school, so he's been educated quite well on this stuff. Who's
No,
Peter?
I haven't.
Who's
I
Peter?
just got
Tell me Peter.
He was
Peter Griffin.
He was the guy. I'm pretty sure. I think this could be wrong, and if we do have a lot of Christian subscribers, this could be bad. But I'm pretty sure Peter was crucified upside down out of
really?
respect for Jesus because he didn't want to be killed in the same way.
That's pretty crazy.
That's some commitment.
That is some commitment. That's pretty nuts, man. Pretty nuts.
But that's enough Bible
That's enough,
study
yeah.
for today.
Yeah, we've talked about the Bible.
We've
for,
talked
for a
about
very long
Bible
time at
study.
this point.
We have talked about Dana oiling himself up. Now I think it's
So
time
UFC 300
we talk about the
has
news
been
to
announced.
do with UFC 300.
UFC 300.
that has
Well,
been announced.
there's been no. You're slow, I tell you. This guy's a bit R word. Dana did announce some fights on the UFC 300 card. He didn't announce any headline acts or anything like that yet. But the initial marketing and the first call outs of fights have been announced by Dana recently. Number one on those being Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar at 145. So Aljo's making his move up. This is a pretty good fight.
What
Pretty damn good fight.
did he do?
I think this is going to be a banger. I think Aljo's
Yeah, I think
going to
so,
try and
too.
wrestle. Absolutely, 100% from the very get-go.
What makes
this
you
time.
think that?
Well, because last time against Sean, he didn't really try to wrestle much. And he's going to go now. And
What happened there?
He lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, he got knocked out.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
So, and
I remember now.
if he tries to strike with someone like Kattar at 145, who's very heavy-handed and a bit of a knockout artist himself. Like he's gonna, yeah, he needs to stick to the game plan this time, big
Yeah.
time. Like I don't know why he did what he did against O'Malley. It was stupid.
Bright lights. You know, there was a lot said before that fight. You know, probably a lot of going in there with a lot more emotion than usual.
Yeah, and he just wanted to knock him out.
Felt
But
like there was a bit more on the line, yeah, and wanted to make a statement.
it was
Didn't
never
work
going
out
to
in his
happen.
favor.
It was never.
But
gonna
yeah, I
happen.
think if he's going to make waves at 145, then he needs to, yeah, I agree, take a bit more of a cool and calm kind of approach. Cool, calm, and collected.
he needs to stick with what got him to the fight.
Yeah,
you know?
he is
Got
a
him to
great wrestler.
The dance.
I mean, they called him the backpack kid, you know, whatever they
No,
called him.
they didn't.
They called him.
Backpack kid.
They called him a
They called
backpack.
you the backpack kid at school.
No, they
Some
didn't.
people did.
You didn't go to my school. You don't know. You just exposed that before. You told everyone I went to a Catholic school. Don't even know
The
that.
secrets start to dribble out.
But yeah, he was a bit of a backpack in that
Yeah.
fight against Jan. and a few
Bro, he
other-
was so
few
good
other
at taking
times.
the back.
Yeah,
And then he did the same against obviously a seriously damaged TJ Dillashaw.
that's right. Yeah,
And he obviously
I
managed
just
to do
completely
a similar thing
forget
to
that fight
Yeah,
happened.
same. But he did it to Henry Cejudo as well. He took Henry Cejudo down a bunch.
Mm.
He didn't get Sean down once. But the reason for that is he wasn't using his chain wrestling. He wasn't shooting over and over again. And that's what we need to see against Cater. We need to see if that size that he has is actually 145 size, and whether he's going to be able to hang there. I don't know. And Cater's the perfect test.
yeah. Well, yeah, I think it will be. I think it will be a good test for him because the other thing too is he will have been draining his tank quite a lot getting down to 135. He's a big guy.
He's big.
To be fighting at bantamweight. So 145 we just might see a kind of a repeat of the Figgy kind of situation the other week. He might look a bit better out there at that weight class, and he might look a bit more replenished and a bit more.
His chin might hold up a bit better.
That's right.
There's been a few times he got pretty badly rocked at 135. But then again, size does matter, and Cater's obviously going to be a lot bigger than anyone that he's ever faced before at 135.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
I honestly can see Cater getting a finish in this fight. I think he's going to clip him early, and Aljo's not going to know what's coming.
I like Aljo for this.
Mm. Yeah.
I hope Aljo does well here. I mean, I know he gets a lot of hate, and I know he's an easy guy to hate on. But
Very.
I think there are good things for him to do at 145. But he needs to start it
get
off
through
with a
Cater
win.
first,
Yeah.
for sure. It's extremely important that he gets through Cater, and so I think he's the favorite, but I can also see him having some big trouble with Cater's power.
For sure.
But we'll see what happens. There was a couple of other fights announced.
Yes.
Just
a
other
couple.
fights. Yuri Prohachka versus Alexander Rakic. Yuri's back. The Samurai returns yet again after his loss in the second round via TKO against Pereira for the light heavyweight strap. He was coming back in that fight from a long layoff. A year or so he was out with a shoulder injury, a really bad shoulder injury.
That's right. Yeah.
And he did get finished, and he looked good in that fight. He didn't look rusty, but he just fell victim to the left hand of Pereira, like so many people do.
Do you think this is potentially a contenders fight?
This has got to be.
fight.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's got to be.
So Jamal Hill is still sitting on the sideline, still injured at the moment, and could potentially now be going through some legal problems. I don't know if that.
I don't think that's
whole
came
thing.
to anything,
No?
really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, he's getting up to a little bit of
He
mischief
fucked
on the
his brother up
sideline.
there. Like,
Yeah.
big time. Did you hear
Yeah.
the report about that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it sounded a bit nasty, but
Knocked his teeth out.
But either way, Yuri versus Rakic looks like it's setting up the
The next guy after
next guy.
Hill.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's nice to have some clarity.
This
at
could
the
be a
top
fight
of
of the year
of a
contender.
division. You reckon?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And
This has got fight
you
of the
think
year
that this is going to
written all
headline the
over it.
prelims? You were saying before this as well.
Well, at 300, if they're planning on making it like a stacked card from top to bottom, I could see something like this headlining the prelims.
Would that mean would that mean you see Aljo versus Cater being on the prelims as well, or is that a main fight? A main card fight.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think it's weird because
It's hard to put.
we've only got
like
the
that
3
on the
for now, right?
prelims.
Yeah.
But like, could you imagine how much O'Malley would rip into that?
Yeah. But it's 300 as well, 300's a big deal. Just being on the card alone, even if you're on the early prelims, it's a pretty big deal. Historically, these cards have been stacked from top to bottom with top talent. So I think as the days go by, and probably before New Year, we'll have an announcement on kind of not the rest of the card, but probably the headliner. Maybe
You think the headliner? Yeah.
I hope. I think it's going to be McGregor Chandler.
I kind of hope that they gatekeep that for a little longer, and they like just for
Well,
something
just tease
different.
us.
Yeah, just keep releasing fights from the prelims and the lower stuff on the main card, maybe, and keep the main card for a little bit. I don't know. It's exciting.
It is exciting. I'm fucking excited. I want to know now. I want to know that Conor McGregor's returning. It's happening. It's happening, boss. They haven't been talking about it much recently, and that usually means something is being signed.
Oh, come on, mate.
It's happening.
Come on. For the last 2 years, Dana has said that this year will be the year he's coming back. And
Conor's coming back next year.
I want to see it too, but it's
Gonna happen.
okay.
Conor Chandler.
Yuri versus Rakic, though.
Yeah, Yuri versus Rakic. Like I say, this is gonna be a contender. It's already got contender for Fighter of the Year written all over it.
Yeah.
2 big, violent guys with knockout power.
Like
Slightly unorthodox styles.
Yeah, like
gonna
we
be
and
bad.
so many people have said before, styles make fights, and I think that is the selling point here. Yuri, well, that's always going to be the selling point when Yuri is fighting. He is so unorthodox in the way that he moves and throws punches and sets up sequences in the octagon.
He's a wild man.
It makes for an exciting fight. His fight against Alex Pereira, even though he got knocked out, was an exciting fight because he was in there
for sure. Yeah. His unorthodox approach to fights makes it just breeds interest in what's going to happen, because he can knock someone out at any point. We saw that against when he fought. Who did he fight?
Yuri.
No, yeah, Yuri. Who did he fight before his title shot?
Was it in
Reyes.
it was an elbow, wasn't it?
Yeah, that elbow out of nowhere. That was a very close fight, and then all of a sudden, dink out. And his first fight against Volkan Ozdemir, that right hand that he landed, just like it was like real unorthodox, but he can end the fight at any moment, in a multitude of ways. And then also against fucking Glover, submission.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah,
he
he
had
did.
3 fights before that Pereira fight.
It's nuts, yeah.
3.
They are both on that kind of wave, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how many fights did Pereira have in the UFC before that Yuri fight?
3,
Not that many, though.
4, 5, 6, 7.
3 of them have been championship fights.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It's pretty crazy.
7 fights in
Pretty
the
crazy.
UFC, 3 of them championship fights.
Yeah.
We're talking about Alex Pereira, but Yuri Prohaska is the man fighting. Rakic is a bit of a steam train himself, and does have some quite impressive striking skills. This isn't going to go to the ground, is it?
I don't think so. But Rakic, you never know. They're both decent on the ground, but no, I think it's going to be a war. I think we're going to see a finish,
I like that.
but I think later in the fight.
Yeah?
Yeah. Rakic was booked against Jan Blachowicz for a while, but that just kind of got
It
cancelled.
fizzled out, yeah.
I don't know what happened there. Maybe Jan's got an injury or something.
I think he does.
He's getting on.
And he was calling for the Alex Pereira rematch as well, which I think is a bit far-fetched.
Yeah. A bit?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty close fight, but he did lose that fight.
Yeah.
So why would
Well, I
he
think
go
it was
against
by a
Noreen?
split decision though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was split decision. But it was close. It was pretty close.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but I
But he
could
gassed
see.
hard.
Yeah, he gassed real hard, and I think Pereira did enough. Like,
Yeah, he definitely won.
yeah, and that was the thing. I don't think at the time when I was watching it, I could see an argument for why it was a split decision. I kind of saw why it could be a unanimous decision. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was more expecting it to be. So for Jan to be calling for a rematch after he's done absolutely nothing since losing to Pereira,
And Pereira went on and won the belt, and he's
Yeah.
staying active.
He's done what he needed to do. Jan
Yeah.
has not done what he needed to do yet.
No, he just needs to win another fight, man. And then if he wins another fight convincingly, yeah, sure, chuck
he'd
him in
have-
for the title. But there's so
If
many
he'd have
people
taken that fight
made a
against
shot.
Rakic and won that, then boom, he's right back in there.
Exactly, and like we were saying, I think obviously Jamahal Hill will be next for the belt. his return, with probably about 6 months from now, he's going to be able to return. So I can see this fight happening before that happens, and then the winner of this will get the next fight after that.
Yeah,
for sure, it's got to be that. But
I like this division now, though. There's so many strikers at the top, which makes it so exciting. Every time there's a championship fight, it's going to be a striking match, which is
apart from Ankalaev.
Apart from Ankalaev, yeah. But the rest of them pretty much are pretty happy to stand and bang.
Yeah, by default they're strikers.
It's nice.
Yeah. No, it's a fun division, man. And maybe Pereira versus Hill could be the fight, the headliner for 300.
That's a good point.
Be a good one.
That's a good shout.
Hmm?
That would be a bad little matchup. A couple of bad little men.
Bad little men.
Bad men.
Not very little men.
Bad men.
Bad big men.
Some bad big
bad
boys.
Big men.
BBB.
There was another fight that got announced as well on the UFC 300 fight card. Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. Bo Nickel's back in action for his 6th professional fight and his 3rd in the UFC, I think, or maybe 4th.
Another guy on a crazy come up.
Yeah.
Coming off a very early knockout in his last fight, isn't he?
Yes, he did knock
about
that guy
a minute.
But that guy was
Less than a minute.
called from the regional scene. He wasn't
it's still
top
happened.
talent.
Yeah,
it did, but
it's his 6th fight.
It's levels. There's levels to this game,
Yeah.
and someone like Cody Brundage, who's experienced, he's got some decent experience, could pose threats, and it should answer some decent questions here as to where Nickel sits.
I like this for Bo Nickel. He's got an opportunity on, quite frankly, the biggest stage most fighters could hope for. Okay, fighting on these 100 anniversary cards is the biggest stage you will ever get granted in your career.
Or a Conor McGregor fight night card.
Yeah, but these are historic. Like you were saying before, they are historic. They're normally stacked top to bottom with good talent. And for this guy to be one of the first fights announced, I mean, he would already know by now the way that Dana has been like talking with, this kid's balls in his mouth for a while. Like, and fair enough, he looks really good out there.
Yeah. No, his wrestling is
so
insane.
I think this is a big test for him. It's under the biggest lights that he will have ever experienced so far in the way of UFC 300, and it's the biggest opponent he's going to face, the biggest competition,
the
biggest challenge,
easily the biggest challenge he's had.
And if he gets a win here, then I see this guy going a long way.
I tend to agree with you there. Should we have a wee look at Cody Brundage's record?
I like that, yeah.
Because I've definitely seen him fight a bunch, but
10 wins, 5 losses.
Yeah, so he's 10-5. He's been in the UFC for a little bit.
And no Bickle is 6-0.
No Bickle. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Slam and punches. He was one of the guys who got the slam. One of those 2 slams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then, followed by 3 losses, obviously. So he's been in the UFC for a while, which is good. Bit of a test for the lad. Man, he really just fucking came in. He lost 3 fights. He really just came in and just started doing bits. Bo Nickel's... Oh, right, that's his record. Okay. So, bit of a... something more than what Bo Nickel has seen so far in his career, basically.
Yeah.
But it's not anything... It's not a world beater. It's not like a top 10 guy. Obviously, he doesn't need doing that yet.
No, and it's the first fight on the prelims. So
well, we
it
don't
does.
know that.
Hey?
We don't know that.
I thought Dana said that it's going to be the first fight on the
prelims.
Night. I thought he said it's the first fight of the night.
I can't remember him saying that. He could have done.
Okay. I thought that's what he said, but
Maybe
it's
Maybe
because
that's
it was
what he
the
said.
first fight he announced for 300. I don't know. It could
maybe
be wrong.
yeah. You might
Look,
be getting.
there's a lot
confused.
of
You're often confused.
there's a lot that's up in the air here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Combat Corner, and we don't pretend to know what's going on. Okay, you know.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do pretend to know what's going on. 298.
buddy.
Costa versus Whitaker has been announced.
Costa versus Whitaker. We need a backup fighter for this
Yep.
fight.
Yeah, we do. That's a good point. He's already pulled out of it once before.
Yes. Costa.
And he pulled out of his last fight against Shemaev, which was fair enough.
Yeah, that was definitely fair enough.
But still, man, like, keep yourself healthy.
He just doesn't have a good record with it, does he?
No.
Does he?
No.
He doesn't. So yeah, we need a backup fighter on this one. If it does happen, it's going to be a banger. Costa, obviously, his last fight was against fucking Rockhold. That was ages ago.
Yeah.
Crazy that he's been so inactive. You know, he's missing out on prime years of his career.
He is.
He obviously is getting injured, and you know, there's reasons that he has to pull out. But surely there's something going on there. But,
yeah,
you know,
it does suck, man. Because like I've said this before on the podcast here that we don't see enough of Paulo Costa.
no,
and
he's so funny
he is
and entertaining. Like, I just want to see him fight, and he's a greatly entertaining fighter as well. You know,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, every fight that he has had has been a pretty good performance. At that. So yeah, it would be lovely to see him go in there against Rob Whitaker. I mean, and that could be a hell of a fight too, because Rob coming off this loss against Drekus, in my opinion, this could potentially be a turning point in Rob's career. I mean, he is getting a bit older now. We have seen him take some pretty hard hits in terms of, like, he's been in there with some pretty hard hitters, like the knockout loss he took to Izzy. Obviously now the knockout loss he's taken to Drekus. It is looking like his chin isn't holding up like it used to. And someone like Paulo is the perfect guy to go in there and expose something like that. So this has the potential to be quite a stinger, you know, in the terms of a bit of an upset fight. It just could.
You're thinking Costa's going to take it?
I don't think Costa is definitely a favorite to going in there and taking it, but there are some arguments to say that, you know, what I'm saying is this could be a turning point in Whitaker's career.
And that would be a shame because Whitaker's so talented. He's a great fighter. I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to say Costa's had too long time off. He's had some bad injuries. He's had some bad infections and stuff. I think that it's just going to all pile up against him, and Whitaker's going to decision him.
Yeah,
pretty easily. I think
if Whitaker wins, it will be by decision.
He'll just do a Whitaker to him.
If Costa doesn't have him out of there by the end of the second round,
yeah, there's no way he's winning.
There's no way he's winning because the way that he gassed against Rockhold, then Cuckold.
Why is he cuck?
Rockhold.
Rock hard for Rockhold.
Luke Rockhold, the way that he guessed against Rockhold.
But that was they were in Salt Lake City that night.
That's a good
and
point.
They both gassed hard, and so did Leon in the main event and get KO. I think Salt Lake. No one likes Salt Lake City. Too high up, altitude.
Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal.
Well, we'll stick on Costa Whitaker for a little bit.
Stick on it for a little bit longer.
There was something else I wanted to say.
There always is.
Costa with a win could propel himself right into a title shot because he's funny.
Yep.
Whitaker with a win could also propel himself into a title shot if Izzy is not the champ again. Soon,
yeah,
because no one can see that again.
Could you imagine Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa?
That would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
Really funny. Or Whitaker versus Sean Strickland would be a great fight.
That'd be a great fight.
Costa versus Duplessis would be a fucking banger. I think if Costa wins, maybe not. Maybe it isn't quite time to put him in for a title shot. But Whitaker wins, and he looks good doing it. It's like, right, he's back. Time to push him back in.
Yeah.
But you never know. You know what?
It does depend on who wins that title as well.
Yeah, exactly.
with the Sean and Drakus.
Because if it's Drakus, we're kind of like, oh, you know, we've seen how Whittaker Drakus plays out.
But I like how it's on the same card now.
Oh yeah, true. So yeah, we could see if someone pulls out situation, you know.
Boom.
Um,
And Drakus
other
has pulled out of
interesting
a
shit, man.
championship fight before.
he has. He has. I can't wait for Drakus to pull out of that fight.
Mhm.
I was thinking, just a quick detour. I was thinking that I was like so confident Sean was going to win for a while, but now I'm pretty confident that Drakus is going to get it done.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten in his head at least a little bit.
Yeah,
And I think he's got so much more power than Sean in his hands, and Izzy with just, you know, the knockout power.
What makes you think that he's in his head?
Because he reacted like a crazy man when he like mentioned one thing, like
In the press conference,
Yeah.
he's saying.
and he was just
Okay.
Duplessis was just laughing away, just like having a laugh, and Sean was like, "Listen here, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker! I'm gonna kill
Right.
you!" And
Yeah.
like, bro, Jesus, we've never seen him like that before,
Yeah, it's fair.
ever. Like against Izzy, he was up there like laughing. You know, he usually does the laughy.
Yeah.
Don't want to look at you in the thing. This time he was like,
Yeah.
It was kind of bit of a change of character for Sean.
Yeah, I'll agree. The press conference didn't look good. For the people that have been saying like he's in his head because he fought him in the crowd, I am not buying that at all. Because like he is one of the only people I believe when they say like anywhere, anytime, I will fight you. And Drakus was openly just saying to him in the crowd, like, fight me right here. And Sean just turned around, asked some people to move, and started fighting him.
Yeah,
So,
no.
like,
I just think it's
like-
the fact that he's got someone who's also like digging into his personal life and talking about his personal life now, and he doesn't like it. He wants to be the one that always does that. You know, he wants to give it, but he doesn't want to have to take it.
Yeah.
Thinks he's got this like a shield, like, oh, my trauma was this, so no one can talk about that.
Yeah.
I can talk about anyone else's personal life.
Gotcha.
Which is a bit weird. It's interesting. We'll see how it plays out, but it is going to be interesting. Right, we can move on now.
You want? That was a good little spiel.
Good little spill.
Good little spiel.
Spiel. Gary, Ian, talking about Sean Strickland. Ian Gary versus Jeffrey Neal has been moved to 298. 299 was looking too stacked. I think they were just like, this is too good. We need to change this up a bit.
Yeah. Well,
But,
I think the other thing too is if one of these two guys gets a quick finish, then they can then get propelled straight onto the 300 card. I'm not saying that probably won't happen for Jeff Neal, but maybe the other guy on this card, who I don't think, Ian Gary, if he can manage to not have a hissy fit and get the flu before this fight, then that's good for him, and he could end up on 300 if he gets an early finish.
Yeah, but Neal's going to knock him out.
You reckon?
Yeah, fuck yeah. His boxing's too crisp. He's got too much power. He's going to left hook him, knock him out clean. And then he's going to finish him on the ground, and it's going to be so satisfying.
Okay, that's a big
But
call.
I kind of want Gary to win because I want to see this shit build
Mhm.
because it's entertaining and it's fiery, and I want to see him get to the top and see what he can do. But I just think Neal's the one.
These guys have already prepared for each other before, haven't they? Because they were booked to fight previously. So, I mean, that does kind of add a little extension in a way, if you like, to their camps in terms of like watching tape and having knowledge on the other guy. But yeah, I do think that there's probably been mentally a couple steps back for Ian in the last couple of months due to everything going on. Whether or not that affects him in the cage against someone like Jeff Neal, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a hard
both
one.
of them could potentially be a little bit affected because Jeff wants to beat him up for doing the whole mugshot thing.
Yeah.
And Gary's obviously could be affected by everyone absolutely despising him.
Yeah.
And him being a cuck.
And we did see Jeff's boxing not really work against Shavkat.
Oof, I don't know whether not really works a good
Well,
way.
like Shavkat had some quite good moments in there.
Shavkat got clipped a lot in that fight.
No, you're right.
But he's just obviously got a chin. Chin. But he obviously clipped
So
Neal
you're
at the
saying that
same
you
time.
don't think Ian Gary's going to have the same...
Ian doesn't
chin?
have the same kind of chin as Shavkat. We've seen him get rocked.
Ian's got a lot more knockout power than Shavkat, though. In his hands.
I don't know.
I reckon.
Shavkat's got 18 finishes in a row
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of those are knockout. Gary does have knockout power, especially with his kicks. I think like his high kick is pretty
Yeah.
wicked, and he's got some real good punches.
With
But
his right hand.
I just think he's got a little pinhead, and as soon as that pinhead's hit, that brain's going no. Want to sleep in the lap.
You're
of
saying
my nutritionist.
you're saying Jeff Neal.
I think Jeff Neal's gonna do it. By
Via
the way,
tech-
I've just
via
noticed
knockout.
something quite funny
What's
on
that?
the camera. Your hat, literally, you can just see one of the hose. It's just ho exclamation mark. Just like right in the middle, because
Yeah.
like one side's covered by the camera.
I got a Santa
other
hat with
side's
a
like-
little description of myself on the front of it.
It's just literally ho. For anyone watching on Spotify, oh well, they can actually watch the video on Spotify. So, happy New Year. So who do you think's gonna win? You think Gary?
I don't know. Yeah, I
Yes,
think he's riding a bit more of a hype train into this fight, obviously. But yeah, I can understand your argument. I think that is his main vulnerability, though, is getting clipped by a left hook. But that is all that we have seen so far. That is the only thing that we have seen so far that is a major weakness for him. So I mean, is it that hard to go back and kind of repair that in terms of like your style and how you defensively react and that
no,
kind of
you
shit?
can make adjustments. For
Exactly. So I mean, if he's made those adjustments, then I rate Gary. If he's naive enough to go in there and not have made those adjustments and study his game over the last wee while, because it has been a little while now since his last fight, then yeah, I think it could be.
We'll see. I just think the boxing of Neal is going to be the difference here.
Yeah.
If he can close the distance and get past the range of Gary with those teeps and those kicks. If he can get in the pocket and land some stuff in the pocket, maybe hurt him early. Shots to the body as well. I think Ian will be for a rough night. And his legs as well. I want to see Neal leg kick him. I mean, Jeff Neal knocked out Mike Perry.
It's pretty impressive.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, no one does that.
No, that's not.
If he can knock out Mike Perry, he can knock out fucking Pinhead.
You can knock out
Ian Gary.
anyone.
Yeah.
You can knock out Mike Perry. You can knock out Mike Tyson.
Mike Perry has a really big head.
Yeah.
Like, and it's harder to knock people out with big heads. Ian Gary has a tiny little head. Little pea head. And
You see him going to sleep.
I hope
Okay.
so. I really like Jeff Neal's just in general and his fighting style. And Gary, not so much. I like his fighting style, but not him.
Wow.
I don't mind him.
That's Kobe's take on Ian Gary. We do have
Never talked about him
Yair
before.
Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega 2.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
Mexico. Five-round co-main.
Round co-main event.
It's on the Brandon Moreno Albazi fight card. So that should be.
It's a
lot of
fight
fun.
night, isn't it?
It is a fight night.
And
Yeah.
2 5-rounders, is it? For the main
Two
events?
5-rounders. There's a co-main and a main.
What a treat, ladies
Mhm.
and gentlemen.
That's going to be like the Mexico. It's in Mexico, that one.
What a tasty little treat.
Pretty good.
What a nice little treat.
That's
They've
going to
given
be a
us
sick
there.
card.
That's-
Obviously, we've talked about Albazi and Brandon Moreno already. That's a bit of a title eliminator for their division. Now we're talking about Rodriguez versus Ortega 2. Obviously, the first fight ended quite prematurely when Ortega put a triangle choke, or he tried to set up a triangle choke Rodriguez tried to set a triangle up on Ortega. When Ortega was pulling his arm out, his shoulder dislocated.
That's right, I remember
and
that.
The fight was obviously called to an end. So, technically, yes, Rodriguez won. He won.
And then he went on to fight Volk from that.
Yeah, and
didn't
then he fought for the interim.
He fought
And then he fought
Joshy
Volk.
boy.
Josh Emmett, and he did well. But this fight, that fight was good. It was looking awesome at the start. Both guys with some great jiu-jitsu and some great striking. But Rodriguez does have the edge in the striking for sure.
Oh, definitely.
For sure. Say Ortega has the edge in the grappling department. But Rodriguez is no slouch on the ground, and Ortega's no slouch on the feet. So I think this is going to be a wild one.
Yeah.
Ortega's very pretty.
I think so.
Very pretty guy.
That's nice. That's nice. He's had some great moments in the octagon. When it comes to memorable fights. I mean, obviously his title fight with Volk a couple years ago now, his like absolute banger with Holloway. So like both of those obviously being losses, unfortunately for him. But saying that, like he's a guy who goes in there and gives it his all every time. So putting him up against someone like Yair Rodriguez, who, like you say, is an absolute genius when it comes to the striking elements of his game. He has impeccable timing, some really exciting kicks. You never know what he's going to throw next. It's one of those guys that when he's booked to fight, you know it's going to be an absolute banger of a fight. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of elements to that fight that are gonna keep me up for a few nights. You know, just thinking about breaking that down, it's quite exciting.
Very exciting. And I think we're going to see some striking, some grappling, and I think it's going to be a longer fight. I don't think we see a quick finish. And
Yeah, I hope
think another one that's a potential for fight of the year.
Yep.
You know, it's got a fight of the night obviously written all over it, as long as they can both stay healthy. It's going to be a banger. This is going to be great. We'll see if Ortega still deserves to be ranked in the top, I think, 5 of the featherweight division. We'll see if he still deserves that, because he hasn't been active. But this will show. I can't wait for this fight, man. That Mexico card's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Moving on, I guess. Unless you wanted to talk anything else about that.
No.
No.
No, but yeah,
Colby Covington's been making some insane excuses about his obvious dominating loss to Leon Edwards. Yeah, what a surprise, eh? Didn't think that was going to happen.
That's unlike him.
It's a bit of a change of character.
He's normally a gracious guy.
Yeah.
Instead of just a pig of a human being.
Piece of shit, I think. Yeah. Pig. Scum of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to really be a fan of Colby. I used to love the drama, this and that. But it's just got tiring, and he's also taken it too far multiple times now. And it's just like, bro, everyone sees through your thing. You know, we all know what's going on here. You're not Chael Sonnen. You're just trying to.
That's
be Chael
the thing.
Sonnen.
Yeah, he's a bad version of Chael Sonnen.
And the excuses he's been making. Oh, that appearance on Fox News is just.
And then he broke his foot 30 seconds into the fight.
My foot was a balloon. My foot was a balloon.
But yeah, to say that after a loss and not immediately claim it, like if you're gonna talk about something like that, it's gonna be something that comes out the day of the fight or the day after the fight when you've got X-rays come through. It's not something that comes out half a week to a week after the fight has happened. Like,
well, I think it's just him claiming it as well.
Yeah,
there's no proof. Yeah, I mean, he's a tough guy, tough cookie. Like, he broke his jaw against Usman in the first fight, and he continued fighting like a beast, which isn't easy.
Well, whether or not he broke his foot or not, it's not the thing. It's the fact that he's now tossing that up to be a potential reason for why he lost, or the fact that he's a Trump supporter is also a potential reason why he lost. He thinks that he lost on the judges' scorecards because he's a Trump supporter.
Embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
He was on Fox News talking to some guy who hadn't watched the fight. This dickhead pulls up some stats from the fight.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And he's like, you did land more strikes in a couple of rounds, and, you know, you had more control time and this and that. So, you know, it looks like you did win the fight. Unfortunately, I didn't watch it. It's like, yeah, you fuckhead. Like, he got dominated. And, like, don't get me wrong, Leon could have done more, but he got fucking dominated. He got dominated. Leon did so well in controlling him. He couldn't do shit all. And, you know,
we should hit that guy up and say if in future he needs information on breaking down the fights that we can do it for him. We'll go on live on air.
Yeah. And then after that, him and the reporter go on talking about how he's a Trump supporter and how that is the reason why the judges didn't give him the decision. Which is just so stupid. So fucking stupid. So yeah, they'll give it to an English person over a Trump supporter. An English black person over a Trump supporter, because, you know, apparently everyone hates Trump.
Yeah, because the UFC, right, which isn't already like a bit of an alt-right organization.
Not an alt-right one.
No, it's not. No, sorry, not an alt-right. But it is a bit of a more it's position.
It's slightly right-leaning with its political views.
Yeah, well, like
the top
Dana White at the helm is pretty honest about his thoughts on
left-leaning shit.
yeah.
The left-leaning bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
So,
pretty anti
Therefore,
bullshit.
you can say, yeah, they're swaying quite heavily to the right.
No, I wouldn't say heavily.
Yeah,
I think,
well,
it's an
either way.
organization. They
Trump
talk
has
about
been
Pride
heavily
Week.
involved
They talk
in
about
the-
Pride Week
in
and
the
all that
organis-
crap. So
Organization for a long time.
yeah,
Um,
Trump's helped out the organization
from the get go.
The UFC isn't political though. That's the
No.
thing. Trump helped them with money and venues when they were growing, and that's why Dana now brings them along and gives them publicity because he helped him.
Yeah,
That's it.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's not about politics.
No.
And fucking the judges.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was more getting at is like Colby's just full of shit.
Yeah, he's just full of shit.
If anything, the judge is going to be leaning towards him 100% of the
'cause
time.
Trump's there.
No matter what country they're in, anywhere. But because the UFC isn't,
Yeah, it's just bullshit. It's just a lie. He's just coping hard, and it's not showing. It doesn't look good.
no.
Basically, it really looks bad. Actually, Colby, just give it up. Admit you lost. Just say, look, I wasn't my best. There was some moments in his post-fight press conference when he actually gave like proper answers, which was like insightful. He was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe ring rust did play a part. I felt like I started really slowly. Maybe that did play a part in this and that. I I haven't been this and that. But when he just lies blatantly, it's like so easy to read right through it.
Oh, yeah, because if I'd hurt my foot, I would say, I hurt my foot. Everyone brings up an injury that they have right after a fight. You don't hear about it, like unless it's something that's gonna potentially damage, be something that someone can target in the future. Like Bisping's eye, or something like that. It's not one of those injuries. It's something that will heal. It's something you'll need some time off for if it's true. But it's not true, is it?
I want to see him fight again soon if he's gonna come back. If not, if he's gonna take a year off and then fight again, just don't fight again ever. You know what I mean? Either come back and fight on the UFC 300 card or something with someone, or don't fight again. Basically,
Comparing Leon Edwards' dad to a German
the H-bomb.
dictator
Yeah, we won't talk about him on the show.
between the late 30s and mid 40s.
Yeah. He compared Leon's dad to him, which is, Leon's dad was obviously involved in some gang stuff, but that's got nothing to do. That's there's a big issue with that in England,
Yeah.
and in the world with people
I've-
being unable to make decent money and make a living, so that they turn to crime, and
I've
it's
met-
nothing to do with genocide.
I've met people related to gangs. I'm sure you have too, that have some involvement in gangs, and a lot of the time they're lovely people, like you say, that have fallen off in some area of life and had to go down
Yeah.
a bit of a different path. And
Obviously, there's
that's
a lot
the
of
way
bad
it
eggs
is.
involved.
I don't think they are comparable though to dictators in the past that have killed off, a lot of people.
Genocided a whole race.
Yeah.
No, it's not comparable. Just a quick note on that gang thing. It is. It's like, there's a lot of bad eggs, but it's mainly people turning to it because they just don't have anything else and they've got no direction.
Mm.
Yeah, compare that to
Someone who
AH,
didn't get into
say.
an art
Someone who
school,
didn't get into art
threw a
school.
hissy fit, and then like you say, tried to kill off a whole race. It's a
Yeah.
bit of an extreme comparison.
It
But
is.
I'm just gonna say it's slightly.
It's a dick move as
It's
well.
a bit of a reach.
A little bit. Just a little bit. I mean,
quick little bitsy on the Saudi
Ooh.
boxing, shall we say?
there is a Saudi boxing card coming up. AJ versus Wallin is the main event. Good luck, AJ.
Followed up by Joseph Parker
Joe Parker.
and
Our
Deontay
bloke.
Wilder.
Joseph Parker, obviously being of New Zealand descent. We love you, Joseph. Good luck. Good luck out there. Apparently, he's looking. Have you seen pictures of Joseph?
No, I haven't.
He's looking in really good shape.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it's tough against Wilder because Wilder's got the ultimate equalizer with that right hand. But if this is like a Joe Parker who's been dedicating everything to boxing,
Yeah.
we could see
we've-
something happen.
We've heard from his very avid fans in our comment section, backing him up for this fight and seem to have a lot of confidence in him. So
Yeah, a lot of
And-
people seem to have a lot of confidence in him at the moment. So we'll see what happens. He's had an up and down career.
Yeah.
But he's obviously very talented. The main event, Joshua versus Wallen. Wallen, a fighter who has fought Tyson Fury before and lost.
Same with Joe Parker.
Odd. I really hope the winner of the Josh fight and the Wilder fight, whoever the winners are, should just fight. Please. I really want it to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, Wilder should be fighting AJ on this card, but he isn't.
Yeah, I think we had a bit of a chat about that when it first got announced, but I like the way that this is. It's a nice little fun little lead up to Christmas. It's on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Sunday. It'll be on Sunday for us here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'll be watching
Yeah.
for sure. Christmas Eve, don't have all that much else to do, so I will definitely be watching that.
Nice.
Pretty excited for that. There's also Daniel Dubois versus Big Baby. I think he's called Big Baby.
Okay.
It might not be Big Baby, Big Daddy or something.
It's a big call.
He was supposed to embrace AJ with a fight in AJ's first fight overseas in America, but he pulled out due to steroid use.
Okay. I hate when I'm
It's a shame
preparing
that
for
he
a
had to pull
fight
out.
and then I accidentally get done for steroid use.
Sucks for him, really sucked.
That's the only reason why I'm not in the UFC is because I do steroids.
Yeah, same. So much steroids.
I'm juiced all the time.
Jacked to the gills.
I'm juicing. Apparently, I have a needle. You don't want to know where it is actually, but I have always got a needle.
We do steroids before the show usually.
Yeah, we get jacked. I'm juicing. I'm juiced.
You look like Chopper Reed.
I'm just so juiced right now.
But no, yeah, that Dubois fight will be good. That's something. Dubois obviously fought Usyk in his last fight. He landed a punch below the belt, but
Right.
it was like
Borderline.
very borderline. I want you to actually, seeing as we've got a whole bunch of time today, I want
We
you
do.
to tell me if you think this is below the belt.
Okay. I'm going to let you guys know at home. You guys listening at home, I will be the decider. I'm going to let you know if I think this is below the belt. Just want to get you guys into the loop here on the weather. So we're now a good over half a month into summer so far this year in Christchurch, New Zealand. And today we are dealing with an overcast day and drizzle with a high of 17 degrees. How pathetic is that? That's Celsius, by the way, so don't get your knickers in a twist if you're from the States and you think we're over here freezing, but goddamn, that's pathetic for summer.
Pretty silly. It's been very up and down so far, the weather.
It has been.
Yeah.
Did the fight get ended after that punch? I'm now looking at a photo.
I'll pop it up
people.
on the screen for you guys to have a look at. So yeah, this was the punch below the belt, but as you see, his belt's quite high. His pants are quite high.
Did
The
it drop
belt-
him?
Yeah,
And that finished him.
No, because it was below the belt, they allowed it to go on, and then Usyk came back and finished Dubois. But people were like, it wasn't below the belt, and he didn't pass a 10 count. So, but it was a drama for like a day, and then people moved on. But like,
I mean, by the rules,
it is below the belt, really.
but yeah, they need to officiate better. That's the thing. That's the problem. The other problem I have with boxing, like they're riding these shorts up so high. How are you actually going to get hit in the?
Yeah,
in the body.
belly. Because it is supposed to be you can't hit anywhere below the pants line.
It should.
I think.
It should just be groin. That's the only area that you're.
Yeah,
that-
just wear UFC pants.
no. Wear a cup. If you get hit in the cup,
Yeah,
that should be
well,
a low
it looks
strike.
like he kind of did.
Mm,
I don't know. It was drama last time, but we'll see. We'll see what happens this time. Dubois lost 2 fights by knockout now. So, but he's a good boxer, and he's fundamental. He's got a lot of power. So I think we could see Dubois absolutely taking this kid to school.
cool, man.
Let's just quickly predict it before we move on, eh?
Cool, man. Let's do that. Let's do that.
The table is
Well,
yours, my friend.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen Dubois fight. But
Predict
from
the whole thing.
the whole thing,
The
from
three
top to bottom,
the 3 big fights that we've made.
the 3 big fights. Okay, I am going to say that Joshua gets it done. just because I do hope that it sets up another big fight for him.
AJ versus Wilder.
Well, just versus anyone. Look, I don't know if I want to get bullied on TikTok again. I don't know if I want to go through that. I'm going to have to say, man, we're just going to have to align with the Samoan power of Joseph Parker. Just because he trains in New Zealand, where we're hailing from, I'm going to team up with him. I'm going to say Joseph Parker.
I'll go that way too.
I'm a go right down the underdog route.
Mhm.
I'm a get right in there. I'm aligning myself with Joseph Parker
Ding.
for this weekend. All right, a little Christmas present for New Zealand. He's going to get it done in dramatic fashion too. I'm telling you.
I think
The guy that was didn't he say that he trains with Joseph?
Yeah,
Parker?
he's got power oos. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, mean.
He does have power. Obviously, he's a big guy.
Well, yeah, definitely. No one ever said that he didn't, but let's see him go in there
and get it done.
and get
He
it
just has
done
to avoid the
against
right hand.
Deontay Wilder, who we have seen as a very scary man when he steps into the ring on any occasion.
He's very scary.
So-
I'm going to say, I'll just do my predictions real quick.
Go.
I think AJ is going to win by knockout in the later rounds, maybe 7, 8. And I'm sorry, but I do think that Wilder's going to win. My head goes with Wilder, but I'm going to pick Parker because I'm a little bit scared of that guy that bullied us online. No, I'm just kidding. Just because I do want him to win so bad. I'd love him to get a finish. And he's looking good. So yeah, I'll say that Parker's going to get the earlier finish over Wilder, and we're probably going to be wrong.
This is not a hostage video.
Blink twice if you can't see our blinks.
Is that good?
I can see you now.
This is not a hostage video.
It's help us.
That's all for the news, pretty much,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so should we get into our special feature? So basically, that was the end of the traditional show that we usually do. We won't review this yet.
What are you thinking of it so far, though?
It's all right. It just tastes like beer.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a pretty standard beer. I'd say, like,
The
you know,
can's
it's funny. It's very comparable to the Orion that we had.
Yeah.
Same percentage, same nationality. Both hailing from Japan.
You sure? Yeah. Oh yeah, Japan.
I am, Sam.
Cool can.
It's a very cool can. I like it. It's very solid, you know.
It is rock hard.
Discover the perfectly balanced taste that's irresistible to all as you share rich moments with this masterpiece of the brewer's art. Now, I would normally read that but I can't really see very well in here with these sunglasses on. How are you finding it? Now, if you take them off, though, I feel like the lights, the $6,500 lights, are going to be too bright.
$6,500 actually. Yeah, I'm not taking them off.
I've been approached recently by one of our listeners asking how we afforded this financial burden of these lights.
Who?
Like, I'm not going to name and shame these people because, you know, that's kind of exposing their financial situation. But I just want to let everyone know out there, we're pretty well off, you know.
Yeah, our parents are oil tycoons.
Yeah, I'm an oil man myself.
Yeah, my parents made their money in oil. My mum comes from oil.
What is this? What is this segment? The oil segment.
My mum comes from oil.
When it comes to oiling up
His mum
Dana,
comes
we
from coal.
are well equipped with the oil and the time and energy, I think, to get the job done.
Bro, what the fuck are we on about now? Jesus Christ. Okay, so that was the main video, the main topics for of relevance. Done.
Lovely beer, Sapporo.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very yummy.
Let's talk about fights. Thank you, Zach, again for the Zach. Zach.
Thanks for the Zach.
Thank you, Zach. Did you want an intermission before? Or are you good to continue through, buddy?
Yeah, I reckon we can keep going. Are you
Keep
good?
going, yeah, I'm good. I'm always good, mate. You know me.
Nice.
So our top moments of this wonderful, wonderful year. I'm going to start with, so this is in no particular order, but as we go up, they're going to kind of get a little bit more potent, a little bit more, you know, fiery, a bit more jumping out of your seat. Whoa, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So starting off, Grasso versus Shevchenko 1. That was a shocker.
Was a shocker.
That was a shocker.
Yeah. No, ending by submission. Rear naked choke, was it?
Rear naked choke, taking the back like a absolute ninja. Grasso did.
And taking the belt in turn.
Taking the belt in the process, and she's still holding on to it after they drew. They drew, didn't they?
They
yeah.
did.
After their draw in their
In
last
the
fight.
rematch,
They'll
yeah, so-
probably fight again at some point.
Yeah, it sets up a nice little trilogy for the two of them. I'm sure that's a nice little moneymaker down there in the women's division.
Absolutely.
It is. It is. If we're honest, it is hard to get the ball rolling sometimes
It is a
down
little
there.
bit. Can be. They don't have balls.
I said, well,
Yeah. So it is hard to get it rolling. But Grasso Shevchenko won the first time it happened. Was a big shock. And no one expected that to happen. Shevchenko came in there as a massive underdog. Grasso came in there as a massive underdog, as is regular with opponents of Shevchenko. But Shevchenko was the one that ended up with the big red mark on her face from being squeezed. And it wasn't a choke that was under the chin. It was on the chin, but it was fucked. And it was likely going to break her jaw if she didn't tap. That was a crazy squeeze that she had.
They weren't main event of their card, were they? Though?
No, they were co-main.
Who was main event of that card?
Let's have
Let's have
a
a look, because I want to know when in the year that was, because I remember watching that live.
Yeah, same.
A nice little event it was.
That
was the
298, 285. Why did I say 298? It was on the Jones Garn fight night
Wow.
card. Oh,
So that was a wee while ago.
That was a sick card, bro.
When was that?
Oh.
I'm looking like an old person.
March
That was
5th.
March 5th. God damn.
That was a pretty good fight night. That was a really good card. Just looking back at it. But yeah, that's our number one moment. Shevchenko getting upset in the first fight against Grasso. Pretty awesome. It was awesome to see Grasso lift that belt. She's so cute.
Yeah, she's a tidy little number.
She's just very nice.
yeah.
You know, like she's and obviously her coach is
Good
very cool
vibes.
as well. Good
Good
vibes.
vibes from that camp.
You know who her coach is?
No. Who was it?
One of our friends gets hard over him every night.
Diego Lopez.
Correct. That's the coach.
Yeah, I saw him cornering someone else.
Aldana.
Yeah,
He coaches her too.
good on him.
He's a very good coach.
Shout out Dylan Harrison.
Shout out to Dylan Harrison. Not shout out to Harry, because he doesn't listen. That's not actually his last name. I'm not going to tell you his last
I don't
name.
really know him. Then. I don't really know him. I don't really know all of our listeners. I don't know all of them. I don't know all of you guys like that. I am willing to share a McFlurry with all of you at some
Yeah,
stage.
you better be buying people that, honestly. Like,
They
you
just need to
promised.
seek me out.
Go on Seek, apply for a job at Jackson.
Seek
and,
me out. I'll
he
put
will
a
get you
McFlurry on Seek, and you can apply for it.
Correct. I'm gonna say something else here. I'm gonna say something else.
Okay. About this
Gaethje.
fight, maybe. I know.
Versus
We're moving on from this fight.
Poirier. Unless you had more to say.
No,
Didn't?
that was
Then
good.
shut your mouth, bitch.
Gaethje versus Poirier for the BMF belt.
Be it baddest
it went
motherfucker.
back on the line.
And it left American Top Team. Saw it go to wherever Gaethje trains.
Yes, we did. And in a very exciting fashion. A very good fight getting finished in the second round. The first round, however, was just as exciting, in my opinion. It could have gone either way. I remember having some arguments online with some people about what way the fight did go in that first round.
Yeah.
Because I think Poirier was looking good.
He
had
was.
some good moments. They both had some good
Pretty
moments.
even that first round.
It was. So, both guys looking quite good. Neither of them having a fight since then. But some potential exciting matchups coming up for both of them.
Mhm.
But yeah, what a moment. A great head kick
Yeah.
from Justin Gaethje. Something we don't normally see him throw.
No, he's usually a leg kick kind of guy.
Which is the perfect excuse to go upstairs and switch it up for once.
100%.
And it definitely paid off.
For him, he's like, oh my God, I've never thrown a head kick. Holy shit. I can kill someone.
And then he just wings that.
Yeah, and it was even blocked by Dustin, but it still got through.
Still
It was
went
obviously
down.
very powerful.
Yeah.
That was a shocking moment, and it also kind of mirrored the knockout by Edwards on Usman the year before, and it was in the same place.
Yeah.
In the main event at the same Salt Lake City, 1-2 head kick.
It's always nice seeing Gaethje get a win as well.
It
because,
is, and it's always good seeing Poirier lose.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
oh, you're a
I'm a big
McGregor
fan.
guy, aren't you? Just,
It's not really because of that.
no?
I didn't mind him for a while, but I don't know. He's just a bit of a sore winner.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially after
Kinda
that
gets on my
hooker fight.
nerves.
Is
Yeah.
that where you're going to?
That was
Yeah.
annoying, but also, well, the Chandler fight it was kind of like reasonable because Chandler was being a complete cock.
Yeah, that
whole
fish
fight.
hook did look pretty intentional.
Yeah, but there's been other times where he's won, and you know he's just being a dickhead. Like even, yeah, Connor was being a dick, but he snapped his leg, and he's like fucking.
Connor had said some pretty horrendous things about him, and was still sitting there saying some pretty horrendous things about him after Dustin had snapped his leg.
But Dustin was talking shit before Connor said any of that dumb shit.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
think-
I've never been a fan personally, but well, I just literally said he knocked out Bobby Green, so just saying.
He does some great things for his community. He's doing some great things for building his businesses, which is, it's always nice to see a fighter making some waves outside of the organizations that they are owned by, essentially. Do you know what I mean? So that's cool. It's good that he has stuff like that, especially if he is going to continued to get knocked out. But I don't see him.
I don't know what's going to happen with him.
I don't think that'll happen. He did come out recently saying that he's in a tricky position in his career. It's not often that he has been in a position where he's waiting for something big to happen. He normally just takes fights and has built his way to the top, but now he's at the top. It's a bit of a different one.
He needs something special.
Yeah, he does.
But that was an epic moment nonetheless, and we're likely going to see Gaethje fight either for the title or number one contender ship fight next, and whenever he fights his absolute fireworks.
I've seen him fight Max Holloway next. We've talked about.
Oh
this.
yeah, true. But Islam came out and he said, "I don't want to fight. I don't want to do a rematch. I don't want to fight Sarukian. I don't want to fight Charles. I want to fight Gaethje."
He needs to fight Charles.
I think he should, but again,
I don't think Islam's been a dominant enough champion. He isn't, like I've said so many times, he still hasn't beat a
but
lightweight.
At the same time, think about it. People can complain about Islam, and why do they complain about Islam? Because he's fought Charles, and he fought Volk twice. Now he's going to fight Charles again, and everyone's like, "You need to start going through the contenders." It's like, well, I've already fucking beat this guy. I want new challenges. I want to start proving that I'm the best. You know, he's only got a certain amount of time at the top. He wants to beat everyone. He doesn't want to just keep beating the same people again. And we all know he's going to beat Charles.
I hear you, but
We all know he's going to beat Charles.
I don't know about
Come
that.
on, don't be silly.
The way that Charles looked against
Don't be silly.
Dariush was pretty threatening.
Yeah, but Islam is so much better than Charles. So much better than Charles. Like, look, yeah, it'd be a good fight, but he's going to get absolutely hammered again. Yeah, he's cool, but Islam's just better.
The first fight.
He is just better.
Okay, we will see.
We'll see. Moving on, Aldana versus Rosa, a recent fight, potential fight of the year.
Yeah. No, we're putting that down on our list mainly because of that. It is a potential fight of the year, and it was just such an exciting fight.
God,
It-
yeah.
It had me
Coming
out
out
of
of
my
your
seat
seat.
for 2.5 rounds. you know?
Jackson was coming out of his seat.
Halfway through that first round, boom, out of my seat. I'm coming out of my seat. And no, just the excitement that came from it, the leg kicks that just opened up a kind of new wave of striking towards the end of the fight, because what those leg kicks did is they broke her down to a level where by the end they were both just slaughtering each other to the head over and over again. And it just made for such an exciting little bit of combat. Like,
It's almost like the early leg kicks kind of set up just a primarily boxing fight.
yeah, a brawl.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
It was crazy.
Aldana obviously coming away the winner in, you know, deserved win by Aldana. She definitely won that fight. But yeah, it was back and forth. Rosa had moments. Rosa obviously won the first round. Aldana had moments. There was some big punches landed. Crazy stuff. And that really carried that whole card as well. Like, it's not often you get a 295, like, you know, big pay-per-view card that's carried by a fight on the prelims.
Well, I don't want to sound sexist, but even more so, a woman's fight on the prelims. You know, they're people that don't normally bring the biggest names into the sport, but like we said, these two chicks stood up and fucking hell, man,
They went to war, man.
What a brawl!
And yeah, with the women's fights, it's usually like the top woman, the best woman, the two best women going at it. It's a banger usually. But when it's just like two up and coming women's fighters, it's never usually the most exciting. It's just not quite there. It's like women's fights are maybe like 10%, whereas the men's fight like 50% exciting. So it was a bit of a shocker, but they came to bang, and they did. You know, they absolutely smashed it out of the park with this one. Awesome fight. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to announce this one?
The double slam event. What a statistic. Another event that we've already covered. I think at the time when we covered it, the stat still hasn't changed. I think there have been 12 or 14 slam knockouts in the UFC's history over a 30-year period, and 2 of them happened on the same card, one fight after another.
Rare is the word you'd use to describe that. Rare. You know, that's what it is. It's rare. You don't see this happen often.
Wait, what is it?
Rare.
Oh, okay.
You know, like a steak when you do it.
The way it should be done. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I like medium rare.
Okay. Yeah, it was incredibly flukish. We'll never see it happen again.
No, it's a rare thing.
Very rare occurrence.
Interesting. Tricky. No, it was interesting.
Buzzwords there.
It was super interesting to see. Yeah, we'll never get that happen again. I don't think that will ever happen again. It's like we were saying, it's uncommon for it to happen even in a just one in a fight night, and it happened twice back to back. I don't even think we'll ever see it twice again, yet alone back to back. You know. So yeah, that was awesome. Both pretty violent. Slammed on the side of their heads as well.
It's such an exciting way to end a fight because it does take a second, because they don't happen that often. You're not used to seeing it. It takes a second to register what's actually happened. And yeah, it is quite a big event because getting someone
The Manny Bang.
and getting them right on the side of their head, it's a pretty tricky thing to do. When you're pulling them up and bashing them back down on the ground, it's not easy to go aiming someone's temple, you know. But yeah, to have that happen twice, crazy.
That was nuts.
On the prelims as well.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Absolutely crazy. But you know, what can you do?
Well, not a lot when you've just been knocked out from being dropped on the ground.
Yeah, not a lot.
You can't do a lot.
That was a cool card as well. That was on the Saruki and Gamrot. Sorry, not Gamrot.
Saruki and Dariush. Kobe's just lost his tab and his can.
Fuck.
Moving on.
So we had Hooker versus Turner, Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker. The comeback of Dan Hooker against a up-and-coming rising star in Jalen Turner.
Do you think this will be fight of the year?
I think it should be.
I agree.
This was so cool on many levels.
Yeah. The freeze frames that have been taken out of this fight are just incredible.
Yeah.
The way the fact that someone took that amount of damage and kept going it's mind-boggling. But an exciting fight from start to finish.
Yeah.
2 guys that are going in there with intentions of putting shin to jaw, or fist to jaw, and sleeping the other guy.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
And there was moments that both of these guys looked like they were going to get finished or get a finish. You know.
Yeah. So yeah.
That was. Can I just bring up two points from this fight that I absolutely loved?
Sure.
Obviously, Hooker broke his arm and continued fighting.
Yeah.
Insane. Also, Hooker getting head kicked directly to the head.
Yeah.
Just walking fight away.
The foot perfectly wrapped around the back of the head, shin strapped against the jaw.
Yeah.
Like, it was a
Didn't even
picture-perfect
flinch.
head kick. Hooker just stood there.
This was the epitome of a Dan Hooker fight. It was a war. He made it a dog fight. Turner kind of gassed towards the end. And it showed us, you know, Dan Hooker's not done. Dan Hooker's still here, and he's here to stay.
He's a hero.
It's a shame that he couldn't fight against Green. That would have been a cool fight. But
it still needs to take place.
yeah, I think so. But not after Green's last fight, not for a while.
Well,
at
Dan's
least.
going to need some time.
Yeah, he will.
Can still happen.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens there. But that was an awesome fight on a great fight night. Hooker just reeling back the years with that win, and Turner showing that he can bang too. He did gas a bit. He needed to kind of he needs to fine tune his game plan a little bit going into fights, but he's bounced back. Since.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see his cardio against Bobby Green. Unfortunately, that fight being finished in the first round.
Yeah, he just styled on Bobby Green.
But yeah, I think he would have learnt a lot of things from that Dan Hooker fight. The thing that we've got to remember about Dan Hooker is he has fought the best of the best in the lightweight division. So he's well tested, and he does have a bit more of that fight IQ than some of these guys like Jalen Turner probably have, just because of the level of competition that Jalen Turner's faced so far. So yeah, fighting someone like Dan Hooker, I would say, will be a big turning point in his career, and he will, I'd say, make some adjustments, make some changes
from there,
and really fine tune his tools so that he can take it all the way to the top. But yeah, I would like to see Jalen Turner continue on this tear after that Bobby Green knockout, maybe get another couple wins under his belt.
Yeah, another late stoppage maybe would be good to see from him if he can get that done.
That's not his fault.
No, fuck no.
Um,
He was just doing his job.
But yeah, on the other hand, for Dan Hooker, I'd love to see that Bobby Green fight rebooked and for him to make another.
Yeah, maybe at the end of next year. Yeah. Moving on.
Alex Pereira.
Alex had what a year for Alex. He obviously got KO'd by Izzy in a huge main event.
Oh my god.
Then that was insane. Might talk about that a little bit later.
Maybe.
Potentially. And then he fought Jan Blachowicz, obviously decisioned him in Salt Lake City on that undercard of Gaethje versus Poirier, and then right back into it in the thick of it. What was it? UFC 295, beating Yuri Prochazka for the heavyweight title, becoming the eighth double
by third round,
second round.
Was it second round? Oh, it was too. Very end of the second round, wasn't it? A
There
minute
we
to go in the second round.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Should we check?
Nah, I'm confident.
But that was awesome. Quite shocking. I think, well, not shocking. We both called it, but just to see Pereira go up to light heavyweight, and his power and his speed and his accuracy and his timing and everything just not be affected whatsoever. This guy's come from kickboxing. What, like 3 years ago? He came over from kickboxing, started training MMA, got into the UFC, and a couple fights later, he is literally one of the best combat sports athletes of all time within our sport. Like, this is insane. This guy is a damn insane person.
It is insane, man.
And
I think if he continues on doing what he's doing, there is potential one day for him to be considered the greatest combat sports athlete of all time.
He should be in the conversation.
For what he has done at the top of each sport that he has competed in is incredible.
Yeah, I saw some
there's these guys who go and they take an unbeaten record all the way to retirement, right? You got your Khabib or your Floyd Mayweather, but were they taking
the same
every risk they could on the way there?
No,
I don't know.
No, it's usually a little bit cherry picked. I mean, I'm not saying anything against this.
You've got someone like Alex Pereira who is obviously not doing that. He's taking the hardest fight every single time to claw his way to the top.
He is. You're not wrong.
So I have so much respect for this guy. I think the year that he has had this year has been incredible to just pick himself up, bounce back off that loss that he took against Izzy, go in there and really grind out a win against Jan. So impressive. And then to obviously go on and win the title in the fashion that he did. What a guy, man.
Yeah, he's an insane talent, and he's done some real special stuff. And I also heard, like, this is probably just rumors, but I heard some rumblings of him potentially challenging for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, I was going to get into that as well.
That would be insane. And if he did win the heavyweight title, that would cement him as the greatest of all time. Like, it would have to. He's
100%.
Double champion glory kickboxing, comes over to MMA, joins the UFC, beats Izzy, beats Yuri for the light heavyweight, maybe a defense at light heavyweight, goes up, beats whoever for the heavyweight strap. 3-weight division champion. He's the only person who could do it, I think.
Think about this. He beat Sean Strickland. I know that was before Sean was a middleweight champion, but that's one champion. He beat Izzy. That's another champion. He's beat Jan. That's another champion. He's beat Yuri. That's another champion. He fights fucking Jamahal Hill next. That's another champion. Okay, like if he beats, that's 5 champions in under 10 fights.
It's pretty good.
Then what I'm saying, he is fighting the absolute top 1% of competition in the world.
Yeah. Well, he is top 1%.
I know, but it's bro.
Yeah, no, it's insane. He doesn't cherry pick opponents whatsoever.
Is this heavyweight thing that you're talking about, was that from an interview that Aspinall was talking about?
Yeah,
sitting
he said he
next
was
to him
sizing him up.
295, yeah.
Yeah.
Aspinall sounded scared.
I would
I'm
be.
not like, what'd you say?
I would be.
Yeah.
Gary's a scary guy. Alex is a scary guy. Obviously, I'd favor Tom in that fight.
Yeah, he's got the size.
Got the size, the wrestling,
But I mean,
the jiu-jitsu.
yeah.
He's also got the power, probably.
Alex is getting on a little bit. You know,
He's getting a bit
there's
older.
obviously no argument right now to say he's out of time in
could definitely
terms of
do it,
his
though.
career.
You could
But
definitely.
yeah, a size up to heavyweight would need some time, I
it
think.
would. Yeah.
But
it'd be an
Glover has talked about it as well, and he said that if Alex were to do it, he'd likely fight somewhere around 245, 240.
I didn't hear that.
Still,
Interesting.
yeah, still big enough to fight at heavyweight, but is it enough size to carry enough power up there?
Yeah. Who knows?
It's a big shout,
yeah.
but if he goes and shoots for that, holy crap!
Yeah, it would be dope.
Whether he gets it done or not, I don't care.
Yeah, and
That
if
guy,
he did
man.
get it done, then it does. It cements him as the greatest of all time. You know. Yeah. So moving on.
We
Sean
mainly just
O'Malley.
talked about Pereira there, but Yuri Prohaska.
Well, he won.
Well, he did, yeah.
Did win.
But
But yeah, it was just an awesome moment. That's why it was so good. It was him becoming double champ. You know, Yuri didn't really have much to do with it in the end.
I still like Yuri, and
Yeah,
I
same. I
think
love the guy.
it's pretty hard for light heavyweight at the moment. I mean, there's obviously no John Jones there anymore. There's no one that's like levels or showing that they can be levels above everyone else yet.
Mm.
But there is a lot of top quality guys right there at the top, obviously, because so many of them have just held the strap for a very brief period of time. So
They're all ready.
yeah,
to-
man,
to go.
it's a nice little exciting division. I'm sorry to hold you up there, but yeah,
No, I
Sean
understand.
O'Malley versus Aljamain
Aljo,
Sterling.
that was obviously a wicked moment. No one called what happened there. No one was predicting that to happen.
You don't think so? I think a few people out there were
Or maybe like,
some fanboys.
when I mean nobody,
the
like,
Nelk boys would probably.
don't talk, never mention those people on my podcast. Fuck those people. Not even because they're bad people, they just annoy me. Like,
Okay.
just their faces.
Right.
Just like fucking, what's his name? Dewey or whatever? The little short fat guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Steiny. Yeah, fucking Why is he famous? Like, why? No, but just why? Just why? That's all I'm
Right.
gonna say.
Sean O'Malley getting a knockout over Sterling.
Sean O'Malley
We'll
getting a knockout.
We'll focus in on that.
Focus on the fight. So Sterling came rushing in. You know, he's looking for a takedown. He tried a couple takedowns, pushed him up against the fence, but he wasn't successful, not once. And you know, the second round starts. He goes for another takedown. I think off a slip from Sean.
And just
And then
overextends.
he comes running in, trying to, you know, maybe make this fight a little bit of a dogfight. Overextends. Sean pulls back. Bam. And one shot is all it takes. From Sugar.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to talk about any one of these fights on here being a problem with the stoppage, this was up in the air a little bit, I guess. But Aljo took it like a man. It was a bit of a funky one though. You've got to say
a little
that to
bit.
some
He
extent.
took a beating though, and he turned over.
Yeah, it wasn't
Never
looking
good.
good for him. But yeah, Sean O'Malley, what a rise.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously having a lot of success in the UFC so far, only taking the one loss to Chito Vera, whether or not he considers that a loss or not, we'll just go off what's on his record in the meantime. But obviously having a great win against Petr Yan, which set him up for this title shot. Beforehand, having the controversial exchange with Munoz. But yeah, I mean, the guy has made a name for himself, which not everyone can do. So I think that being the thing that's propelled him to the top, fair enough. Found something that works for him, and he's managed to beat the best guys in the world when he needs to.
Yeah, his striking is world class. He's got power. He's got the ability to slip, read, time people. And it works for him, like you say. His shtick works for him, and his fighting style works for him.
Yeah.
And he's obviously got some pretty decent takedown defense, which this could take him pretty far.
Yeah.
He's obviously got the upcoming fight with Chito Vera,
right.
which is going to be an interesting one. But yeah, this moment was shocking. Yeah. That's probably the best way to describe it.
I like Sean O'Malley too. And I'm just saying that because of what I just said beforehand. But I just playing devil's advocate, because there's a lot of people out there that talk smack on these guys who do get maybe a little bit of an easier way to the belt, in terms of they don't have to fight as many times, they don't have to stay as active, and they can kind of build their name as a brand more so than building their fight resume. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think there's a lot of respect to the guy, because when he needs to go in there and beat the best in the world, he's managed to do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. He beat Jan. People said maybe that was Jan's fight, but he beat Jan. Close fight, but he beat Jan, and then he beat the champ. That's all that matters now.
Knocked out the champ.
Finished him.
That was convincing.
Convincingly. Like, that's all. That should be all that matters from now on.
That's right.
People can't say he had an easy run to the title anymore. No. He won the title.
Aljo being one of the more dominant bantamweight champs we have ever seen.
Yeah, he did well. And in the way that he did it, it's just so impressive. Pretty crazy. No one would have thought. Got another mention.
Another mention.
Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland, UFC 293 in Sydney. I was actually at this event. It was pretty fun.
How did you like the event as a whole? Before we get into this fight, what was the rest of the event like?
The events, going to a UFC fight card is just the coolest thing, honestly. The whole thing, the vibe, everything. You get to see all these famous people. Like, you see DC wandering around, looking all big. And you see, funny people that, all the media members. You're like, oh, I've seen that guy interview people, and then obviously the fighters, and shit always happens. It's great fun. Just great fun, no matter how the fights play out or what fights are on the card, it's just awesome. That's that, first of all. Watching the event, the Sean Strickland versus Izzy fight there was crazy. Everyone was booing. Everyone was so pissed off that Izzy did nothing, because everyone thought he was going to get a KO in the first round,
Yeah.
In the crowd at least. And he just didn't show up for that fight. He just he wasn't there. And Sean performed so well. And everyone was just shocked. We had people walking out.
We should mention we watched this fight last night.
We did, yeah.
So
it was closer than I remember it being.
Yeah.
When I watched it on the TV, it was a lot closer than I thought it was when I watched it at the event.
Well, I think it was just so shocking for Sean to show up and be any competition whatsoever in the first place, let alone for him to be fighting for the belt for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the bigger headline after this event was that Izzy lost.
Yeah.
And I think, it really overshadowed the fact that Sean won the fight, because like we watched last night, there was so many elements of his game that he inflicted upon Izzy that were there primarily to shut down Izzy's game.
Yeah.
So
his defensive work
and
so
the way that he always kept Izzy on the back foot and out of the center of the octagon.
Yeah.
Izzy, if you watch most of his other fights, he operates mainly. I mean, we did see it a little bit play out a bit differently against Pereira, but that was obviously for a game plan that we watched play out, and we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, the way that Sean dictated his game plan on that fight was so impressive, and I think that was the main area that won him the fight, rather than Izzy not showing up.
Well, I think I honestly I believe that wasn't the best Izzy. No, it's nowhere near the best Izzy we've ever seen. Izzy didn't show up to that fight, but can't take anything away from Sean at the same time while saying that. It was a bit of both. Sean was really good. Izzy was crap. And he unable to implement his game plan, or unable to.
That's
adapt,
what I'm saying.
Unable to adapt.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because Izzy's always been able to adapt when people come in with a good game plan against him. They're like he's able to adapt to what they've come in with and surprise them, but he just didn't have it. Didn't have it. But it was shocking. Great moment.
Yeah, most definitely. And now Sean moving on to fight Drakus next. We'll see.
Crazy.
We'll see what he can do as a champ. I really hope that he can win and start some sort of title reign. Because he is good for the organization. I think he brings a new set of eyes to the sport.
He's good fun.
He's good fun. He is lighthearted at the end of the day, whether you agree with his views or not. You don't have to, and you can still enjoy just the kind of shit that comes out of his mouth a lot of the time.
The crazy man that he is.
So yeah, I like it.
I'd like to see a rematch somewhere down the line. Would be fun. If Sean can win and Izzy wants to come back, then I think we will see a rematch.
Yeah.
If Drakus wins and and Izzy comes back, then he'll probably fight Drakus. Because there's some beef there, and then maybe the winner. This is how I kind of see it playing out, right? Drakus wins, takes the belt. Izzy fights Drakus, wins the belt back, defends it against Sean, retires.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is for Sean, if he loses the belt, his thing isn't going to be to get back to a title, but like he couldn't give a shit if he goes and fights for the belt again. Like after
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
the belt does change people's opinions a little bit. I think
we will.
We'll see if he we'll see how he reacts. But he's an interesting character, quite unpredictable.
No, I'll agree with you there. But so far, what we've seen from him, it hasn't changed him all that much.
He's crazy.
Still rocking around in his Hyundai accent.
Yeah. Oh, he's asking for a Tesla. He was saying he said.
He wasn't asking for one.
He said I might turn gay or something. Like, do I need to be gay if I get a Tesla or something?
Yeah, he's gonna go on an all vegan diet. He's gonna get a Tesla and an iPhone.
Yeah. No, he was doing some. He posted a picture on his story, and he was doing some mechanics work on his car, and he was like, "Screw this, guys! I think it's time to get a Tesla." But what else do I need to do? Something.
I did think we had two more of these to break down, but I've just realized
there's a double up in it.
There is a double up.
Yeah, I noticed that. The very last one. Would you like to announce this one, or?
All right, I'll announce it. Only because you asked me so nicely there, and I can hear the people at home. They're screaming right now. On each of their seats, they're like, "What is the last one?
What could it be?
What could it possibly be?" Well, it's obviously Izzy versus Pereira because we've already kind of glanced over it 3 times in this segment, but. Yeah, we should mention Izzy versus Pereira 4?
5. 4. Sorry, my bad.
Their 4th fight. Second fight in MMA.
Fourth fight overall.
Yeah.
Izzy finally got a win, and he did it better than... He did it the best.
Yeah. It was the most impressive stoppage I think we've seen in his MMA career.
Yeah, for sure.
Inside the UFC, at least to date.
And he was losing the fight up until that point.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? I ain't losing this shit.
He was put on the back foot against Alex, which I think after seeing Alex and Sean training together is obviously the game plan that Sean implemented as well, but obviously managing to not get knocked out up against the fence there. But yeah, Izzy coming off a recent loss to Alex in this fight after being TKO'd up against the cage in the 5th round after dominating the majority of the fight up until that point in their 3rd fight or first fight in MMA. So going into that rematch, we as New Zealand MMA, well, let's just say Izzy fans at the time,
I'm still an Izzy fan.
Oh, yeah. So am I. But getting back to this, I'm just saying after we've just been sucking off Alex Pereira for the last half hour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was a big moment.
It was huge for Izzy.
Yeah.
In his post-fight celebration when he did the 3 arrows.
If he lost...
fucking insane.
If he lost this fight,
it was all over
no question on who the better man was. But now he's got that win over him. He did it, like we just said, in an extremely impressive fashion.
Yeah, convincing.
It throws some question marks over the
Yeah.
If they could still fight again one day,
Yeah, they could.
and it would be a hell of an event. It would get massive pay-per-view numbers.
Yeah.
It would bring eyes from
Yeah, it was shocking when that happened. Like just
all over the
seeing
world.
Izzy have the clip him that first time, that really made me jump out of my seat.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the only moments where I really was like shocked
Yeah.
when that happened. And
I was
so
out of my
fucking
seat
excited,
before Pereira hit the
screaming.
ground.
Yeah, screaming, like super hyped. He finally did it.
Mm.
You know, it was just awesome. And I think that was a bit of a pinnacle moment for Izzy. You know, he'd finally toppled his biggest enemy, and he was like, "Fuck, it's done." Right? Like, I did it.
Yeah.
I fucking did it. Finally.
Yeah. I think a little bit as well that could have potentially had a bit to do with his downfall against Sean Strickland. He's just come off this win against someone who he thought was going to be the hardest competition he'd ever have in his career. And to his credit, he's probably not far off.
He's probably right.
But that Sean that he faced that night was a different level.
Mm.
What a year we've had.
What a year, man. What a year. Obviously, we've started this podcast as well, and I just wanted to reach out to everyone who does listen. I know there's not all that many of you, but we're a growing gang of people, and eventually there will be, you know, a whole bunch of people. Thank you very much for all your support, everyone, because, you know, this has been a bit tough for us to start.
It has.
You know?
It has. I'm just bringing up some bits and bobs on my phone right now. So currently we are sitting at 108 subscribers. We've had this little thing going now for a couple of months.
2 months, yeah.
And this wasn't what it was about for us. We wanted to do this at the start and keep it a fun project for the both of us, something that we enjoy. And it's not about chasing clout and getting on this podcast bandwagon, if you will. It's about slowly grinding out over the course of, we plan this to be quite a long time.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing this because we love doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we're not doing it for money. We're just doing it to try and get better, have some fun.
Yeah, we're both creative people.
Yeah.
And this is a cool outlet for us. So
Especially you wearing your hoe hat.
It's been very, I'm just saying, it's been very enjoyable. But we have reached, here's something cool. I was looking at the other night. We've reached a total of 10 countries.
Yeah.
Including, maybe even gone up to 11. But big shout out to 21% of our audience being from the US.
Yeah.
12% being from the UK, and then 8% hailing from our little corner of the world down here in New Zealand. Only 8%. More shout outs go to Canada, Australia, India, Germany, South Africa, the Philippines, and last but not least, the Netherlands. So we're getting out there, man. We're getting out there to all corners of the world.
We are.
A big 93.6% male viewership compared to our 6.4 female. And we don't have any unspecified gender listeners, which it's no, I'm not going to say it. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, so that's all exciting stuff. Like, these are all figures that.
And yeah, we're not doing it for the number. Like, we're not doing it for money. We're not doing it for like, obviously, you know.
Yeah, if we're doing it for fame, we're failing miserably.
Yeah, we just want to put out good content and improve. And yeah, thank you to, you know what, I'm going to give some shout outs. Thank you very much to Ash. You've been extremely supportive. Ash is a, you know, maybe a bit of involvement for him coming up at some point. Big shout out to Jack Phillips. Massive supporter. Obviously, his beer ends the year number 1.
Yeah.
We'll have to see next year whether that can be toppled. Big shout out to Mark. Big shout out to Mark. He's been a great supporter as well. He's left some really good, helpful feedback for us.
I want to say a big shout out to Dylan Harrison. He has always been sharing our stuff around from the get-go.
Yeah.
And making sure everyone knows
he's got
where
a pretty
to
big
find
following
us
as well. So, you know, that's really nice of him. Thank you very much, Dylan.
Zach, for always supporting and listening to our stuff. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zach. And thank you for the beer review, the beer to review. We'll talk about that shortly.
You just slipped in there, last beer of the year.
Yeah. Who else? Bryden, thank you very much. You've been pretty supportive as well. You know, awesome. Everyone who's given us feedback, you know, everyone who's just said, you know, Aiden saying, you know, you guys are pretty natural on the camera. That's really nice. It's great feedback. So thank you very much. We will be improving. We will be getting better. We've got a lot of exciting shit to do in the new year. A lot of cool plans. So you'll be starting to see a little bit more diverse content from us in the new year. But we're going to have a break. We're going to regroup and we're going to have a great time. And I wanted to say thank you to you, Jackson, being the co-host.
As you should, yeah.
co-host.
No, that's fair enough.
Us being the
I was
co-hosts.
waiting for that,
Yeah.
to be honest. Oh, yeah, well, you've been good too, mate. Yeah, big shout out to Kobe. You guys at home who get to just watch this stuff and enjoy it from your nice little seats might not know, but he does go above and beyond with this stuff, puts a lot of effort into editing and all the other little bits that go on behind the scenes that I'm too pig brain to figure out. So yeah, this wouldn't be possible without you, mate. So
Well, thank you very
It's
much.
a big
No,
it's
thank
a
you very
big
much.
ups to you.
I've got to say it right back at
And,
you. It
yeah,
wouldn't be possible
we're-
without you.
Well, yeah.
We want to last one of our little things there. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's very good, very
We'll
good.
just leave that there.
So, I mean,
No, it's been amazing.
yeah, it's been
And for one final time this
one
year,
final time.
we're going to do a beer review. Now, Zach, I love you, mate. You're great. You know,
But
you're a
what the
good-looking
fuck are
fella.
you talking about?
you're a charming guy. Yeah, you're absolutely just amazing overall as a person. But this beer is average.
It's subpar, champ.
You think
okay?
it's subpar?
I'm
I think
just
it's
saying
average.
It's subpar.
It's okay. You know, it's nothing special.
What I'll say, Zach, and you didn't know this when you were recommending it to us because we kind of only came up with this idea last night, but it's a good thing it was a big can, okay? Because filming this extra long episode, we needed something a little bit larger to wrap our lips around, as weird as that sounds without diving too deep into that.
Yeah.
So it was good timing, I'll give you that. Where it stands, however, on the chart.
I'd put it above Orion.
Put it above.
It tastes
Above?
very similar to Orion, and maybe this isn't a dig on the beer. Maybe this is more of a look. Kobe and Jackson just aren't big Japanese beer fans. We're more Belgian beer fans, you know.
I think I'm happy to stick it right around there as well. Like I said to you beforehand, it does taste quite.
They're all Kiwi beers. Oh, no, and that one too.
Neither of us being from New Zealand, may I just add. So there's no
Yeah.
bias involved here whatsoever. But yeah, this isn't it for me. So yeah, I'm happy to put it above Orion because I will agree with them. It does taste like a bit more of a premium beer than that did from Memoir. But yeah, it's not bad nonetheless. I mean, it's a nice little number if you want a pretty standard tasting beer. It's not offering
price?
anything for the price. Not really.
No, this
Saying that, big cans though.
yeah, it is a big can. 2.8. Oh no, sorry, 2.6 drinks in this. It was okay. I think we can leave it at that. It was okay. And look, thank you very much, Zach, for the recommendation.
If you could buy a box of standard sized bottles of Sapporo and it was a normal price beer,
like 25.
I could see people getting behind it. I could get behind it. Maybe not every time.
no, but if it was on offer
Once in
Good
a
deal.
while. Yeah, maybe on special. Bit of a club card deal.
with a regular can,
Who
like,
knows?
it's obviously
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
steel
bench
can
it.
by the looks of it. Some sort of hardened metal.
yeah, it's rock solid.
Steel can.
Steel can. But this is it. We are signing out for 2023. I want to say also have a very, very Merry Christmas to
Yeah.
everyone. Anyone who maybe doesn't have the best situation going on around this time of year, it can be tough. Just reach out to your mates, people there. Reach out to us, honestly. I'll
Yeah.
be more than willing to jump on a call and have a laugh.
Hit us up. We're,
Anyone we know, if you're going through a tough time, just hit us up.
I mean, honestly, I'm normally a sad sack of shit every Christmas day. So yeah,
He needs someone to talk to.
hit us up.
Please.
We're just like calling out
Hit us up.
friends.
We're talking about us.
Yeah,
No, but yeah, anyone. You don't have to know us. You don't have to whatever. If you
Yeah.
watch us,
it's a very stressful time of the year for
always
some people.
yeah, there's always someone there to talk to. Never think you're alone, especially at this time of year. You know, there's always someone there.
But yeah,
To
if
chat.
you're gonna drown your sorrows with anything, maybe take a look at something from a bit higher up the list,
Yeah.
on our list than
Or
Sapporo.
get one of each and see if you agree with us.
But what we'll do after this is we will take a photo of this little board and pop it up on our Instagram to tie out the year, so you guys can see where everything stands. And so that'll pop up on our Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll pop a little thing up on our TikTok as well, though.
Yeah. We'll make it.
You'll see it out there.
And we will try and stay as active on social media as possible.
Yeah.
But we will be pretty busy over this time of year, and we're taking the time off to, have a break, refresh, all that good stuff. But we'll try and stay a little bit active somehow, in some facet. You might see a little bit more about our personal lives. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe we'll start vlogging.
Vlogging, that'd be interesting. It wouldn't be. My life has nothing to do with fighting on the outside of this room.
You're going to Twisted.
I'm not fighting anyone there.
You can vlog.
I'm making
Oh,
family.
look at this. Look at the leaves.
All right.
All right, guys.
People, I'm going to love you and leave you. We'll see you next year. This hat is stuck to my head now.
Are you trying to take it off?
Velcro. Yeah, I am. To my
Okay.
skull.
I don't want to see.
Peace.
All right, lads.
We love you. Goodbye.
Happy birthday, happy Christmas, happy New Year. Much
Toodle
love.